and welcome to Crossroads. Hello and good evening. I hope you're all well. We're just waiting for Holly. She should be here any minute. Um, yeah, we're just waiting. Anyway, I hope everybody is okay. Can you just go on the Crossroads Facebook page and just like the page and share it, whatever? I think we're getting there, getting to the point where um, lots of people go on there now. So I need all your help, guys. Yes, thank you. Yeah, the Michelle's okay. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Yes, thank you. Yeah. Also, what I'm trying to do at the moment is trying to get new people on, so then I don't have to. So I don't have to kind of like keep on getting the same people on. So I want to mix it up a bit. So anyway, here comes Ollie.
Hi,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Sorry, I was running a little late. I don't have my husband set up. I need him to set all this stuff up, and he's not here. So
Well, you know what they say, don't you? You know what it is. You can't get a decent man. That's what my wife says.
that's right. That's right. Throw
Yes,
him to the bin.
yes. Pull them to the bin. Ollie, I'll tell you what. I am gutted to for England. Really, really, I'm really gutted.
Yeah,
But yeah, I am. Yeah, but they come in third place, and I'm very pleased with that. So they got a medal and everything.
that
But
was such a good game.
it was, wasn't
Like
it?
6 goals. Like that's crazy.
I know, but it's yeah. I think it's to keep the fans happy because Argentina, they were really, really dirty, weren't they?
I didn't think they played that good. They just got lucky at the end. They got those goals that like they just.
I know,
Mm-mm.
I know. It's
I like I that's why I wanted Spain to win because I'm like Argentina they're good but they didn't like their whole game wasn't. Eh,
yeah. So do you like football then, Ollie?
I love football.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm the one screaming at the TV to like cross the ball, pass the ball, shoot the
Yeah,
ball.
yeah. Every time I say that, my wife says, stop shouting at the telly because they can't hear you.
Yes. My
Yeah,
husband too, he's like, "Why are you screaming?" I'm like, "Why do you scream at NASCAR when they go around in a circle?" So, yeah. He tries
yeah, I
he
know.
tries to tell me to be quiet and I'm like, "Uh-uh."
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, Ollie, so we've learned about you and what you're doing there. But tell us, when every time I see you, you're doing the same thing what I do really, and that's because I do a lot of complaining about weight and everything. Now, are you a weight loss coach?
I wouldn't classify myself as that. And I specifically cater to people with autoimmune diseases like I had myself. So
Yeah,
when I give
yeah,
advice, it's not geared to the general public, although it will help them. It still will help them. It's more geared to people that are in dire need of help. So their bodies are super inflamed. They have one or multiple autoimmune conditions. And so their situation is much different and very critical for them to be on point with what they're doing. Otherwise, like they're already going downhill. So
Right.
it's about managing the amount of inflammation to lower the symptoms and the disease load on their body. So I'm more focused on nutrition in that sense. But yeah, I mean, you could come to me for nutrition. I guess I know enough.
Right. Okay. So how about if we test you?
What was that?
How about if we test you right now?
Oh, you want to text me?
No, not text you. Test you.
Oh, test me. Oh,
Yeah.
test
Yeah.
me. Go for it. Sorry.
So.
I They have construction outside and I don't know how to my husband's not here to get these off. I
No,
don't know
you're
how to do
okay.
it. I've been trying.
Right. So I'm I don't know 28 stone. Right. I like a lot of that's. I'm just saying that. I'm 28 stone. High blood pressure. I take tablets. Um, huh? Diabetic. Tea. Um, heart problems. And so, so someone comes into your clinic, say, and they tell you all this, right? And also they like to eat a lot of chocolate, seafood, and crisp, right? Now, now it's over to you.
So, first off, this is how they've been eating, and this is how they've been dealing with whatever, like, this is comforting them. And so you have to approach it very cautiously because I find that there's often an attachment to those foods. So my first question is, why are you drawn to those foods? Why do you need the crunch? Why do you need, the different types of foods? And we can take and replace those. So you like something crunchy. Well, we take away the fried aspect of it because we know fried food increases inflammation. It damages the vascular system. So we're going to lower that and we're going to offer something different. So we're going to replace it with something crunchy. So we're going to give them something like, which is not fun in the beginning. It's an adjustment, right? It's an adjustment. And so in the beginning, maybe we're lowering what they're consuming and we're not really taking it away, but we're going to give them half of what they're eating of those crisps. And then we're going to give them half of sliced radishes. So we're going to slowly switch the behavior to a healthier alternative. That would be my approach, because I find if you just try to remove things, it doesn't work. It's hard. People resist. They don't want to give up their crisps. And then with cardiovascular issues, you have to be cautious. So it's very, very light exercise in the beginning. It's very light. So it could just be a matter of getting up out of out of your chair, a couple times an hour. It's very, very slow moving, and we're trying to increase the oxygen in the body and replace the foods that are causing the damage with healthier options. So, and I find it's easier, like when grains, you don't just remove all the grain. I don't remove all the rice. I will mix the rice with cauliflower rice. So I get actual rice, but then I get cauliflower rice, and we're just sort of shifting the behavior. And so we get to keep the what we're used to. We're used to eating that rice. We're used to pulling and eating that crisp. And that is the part that's hard to change. It's the habit of going and getting that and feeling the crunch, getting the satisfaction of what you're eating. So we're trying to shift the behavior.
Right. Okay. Okay. Y- I totally agree with you there. There's, we've got to kind of like what the trouble is with some of us kind of like eat bad foods. One is because of it's like me. If I walk into like a supermarket and the first thing you smell is the bakery. I don't know what it is like over in the US, but over here, the first place you see a bakery, so I'll go over there. So if it's any pasties around, I'll pick a pasty up the syringe. And the trouble is, do you agree that at the end of the day, it starts with us? We can't blame bakeries, we can't blame everybody else. But with obesity, it starts with us because it's what we put in our mouths.
Well, yes and no, because I think what they've done to our food and making it so addictive, like every grocery store, every restaurant, it is not the people there. They have no idea. But at the corporate level, the owner level, they have it completely set up for you to fail. They
Yeah,
make sure you're smelling those chocolate chip cookies when you walk in the store. It is just like a realtor, a smart realtor will have the house staged. They will have it smell like those chocolate chip cookies. So it's inviting. It makes somebody feel at home and oh, it smells so good. It looks so good. They do the same marketing in grocery stores. So we can't say, oh, it's all our fault because we don't have willpower. We know what we're supposed to do and we're not doing it. The minute you walk into those stores, that it's geared for you to fail. They now have also the fried chicken smell. Like there's all these scents that pull us in that then cue our body that, oh, I want that. I like that. And the intense cravings that are now that I don't think we had this issue way back when, but I also don't think that stores had bakeries in them that were, you had to go to an actual bakery if you wanted to go get a cookie.
yeah,
Um, so I just don't think when we compare the past to the present, they didn't have the conveniences and the traps that are in today's grocery stores and restaurants. Is it our responsibility for our health? Absolutely, it is. But I think certain one of us. There's the what is it called? It's like a little quiz you can quiz. It's a little quiz you can do. Susan Pierce Thompson has it. She has Bright Line Eating. I think her website's brightlineeating.com. And but look her up. It might be. I'm pretty sure that's it. And if you go on her website, you take this quiz, it tells you based on your answers where you're at the susceptibility scale. Because some of us our dopamine responses are pull to sugar and to fats and crispy things are I'm one of those. It's great. It's a great desire to go get those things. And so I did the quiz. I score a 10. I'm a 10. So it takes being super diligent, knowing that, oh, I can't do that. And then and how you break this habit is you have to get away from it. So you do have to maybe for a month you remove yourself from that grocery store. You Figure out a way to have somebody else help you out and get your groceries so that they're completely what you need and not the distractions of the things like you said where you smell the pastry and you want it. It removes that ability, and once you have that little bit of time away, you have more control when you go back into that grocery store. You're still going to want it, you're still going to see it, but you're going to have that little bit of a second of, I shouldn't do that. And that is your power. You just look away. You just look away and you tell yourself, I'm not going to do that today. I also recommend keeping something like I keep my bracelet, I'm enough, right? There's little pendants you can get that you can, they have them for AA. They're used for that. But you can get little pendants now that encourage you, that say, I'm worth it, or just something. And you keep that on you and you go, okay, I'm worth it. You have that memory. You have that little aid to go with you places to say, I'm not gonna do this. I've done this for a month. I can continue to do this without that pastry. And you just have to pull yourself away from it, because people like me that score a 10, we can't take one pastry. We can't eat one pastry because then it's a downward spiral.
Yeah,
We all know
yeah,
this. The people that are like me, we know this. You eat one and you're like, ooh, I want that the next time I go to the grocery store. Then we're making extra trips to go to the grocery store just to get it.
yeah, yeah. I do get that. I do
Yeah, so
get
it's
that.
not technically your fault. No. It's like it's like a setting a trap to catch an animal. They're going to go try to eat the food because that's their instinct. And then the gate closes and you're trapped. Is that your fault that you fell for the trap? No.
That's it. I was because I'm a campaigner against obesity, and I also was looking at children the other day. Did you know that children, as soon as they come out of school, on every corner now there is like a kebab shop or a takeaway shop or a restaurant, and they rather have that than a healthy cooked home meal. And the obesity rates in children under the age of 12 is gone up really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
And, I used to try to close them down because we, because I felt that we had too many takeaway shops in my area. So, and there was lots of schools around. So, that's, and the trouble is with child obesity, you know, I feel sorry for the parents. Yeah, I do. But the trouble is, sometimes I say to the parents, you got to say no. You might kind of like not like it, but you've got to say no, because if they if they wanted a kebab or wanted KFC or whatever, and you're going to give it to them all the time, they will expect it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, what I know is in 1986, tobacco was losing money, and so they started buying up the food stores, just because that was their alternative plan, and they took their campaign for children that for cigarettes, and they used it with food. So they bought Nabisco, they bought General Mills, and they bought Kraft. Those were the first three food companies they bought, and they started off their campaign with Punchy as Hawaiian fruit punch, and they came out with little figures. So these children are being targeted with ad campaigns directly, successful ad
Yeah,
campaigns
yeah,
directed strictly at them. That's why there's a toy in the cereal box. That's why
yeah,
there's bright colors. That's why they put all the candy bars at the low end so the kids are going to see them because the kids are down here.
Yeah.
They are targeting your children, and it's sad because I sort of fell in this trap when I lived in San Diego. My kids were very active, so fortunately they didn't really gain a ton of weight, but you're tired, you're exhausted. My husband was working 14 hours a day. I'm I have 3 children I'm taking to school. I'm doing this with. I have one that's chronically ill, so he had extra needs. And so what do you do as a parent? It's convenience foods. You go to Costco, you get the big bag of taquitos. It's
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
nuggets. You throw them in the oven, or there is a restaurant or a fast food chain at every corner.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Are placing them by the schools. So that way, oh, there's McDonald's. Go,
Yeah.
I want a Happy Meal. And what does a Happy Meal come with? A toy. And now they've supposedly been giving healthier options with their sliced apples, right? It's so it's a trap. It's a
Yeah.
trap. It's not real food. And I used to be on the side of, oh, it's the parents' fault. They're the ones feeding the children. But if the parent themselves doesn't know what's healthy and thinks, oh, this is the way to eat. Like at one point, I removed all sugar from my house. I'm like, oh, sugar, it's sugar's fault. So I read a book on sugar, started making homemade bread, doing doing all this stuff. And I did like there's a little difference, but there wasn't a huge difference. And it's the misinformation. We're supposed to be feeding ourselves whole foods. So, Whole Foods is not at any restaurant. It's not at any fast food place. They don't provide whole foods. That sliced apple has been sliced open, packaged, however it's been sterilized, and put it in a plastic bag. That is
Yeah.
not a whole apple. Even though they're going to give it to you like, here's the healthier option. Is it? It's not a whole apple. Where's the whole apple? That's the healthier
No.
option.
They will replace it with a grape or a cherry or something or a
Yeah,
strawberry,
so
half a strawberry.
yeah, they're specifically targeting the children because the children are going to become the new customer. And when you get an addiction as a child, it is statistically going to follow you your entire adult. It's going to plague you your entire adult life. If you're obese as a child, the likelihood you will be obese as an adult or battle with obesity in adulthood is much greater. So they know this. They know this.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we're going to be back after this break. Um, yeah, let's share something. Hello and welcome back. Yes, and we've been talking about obesity with Holly, and just showing the video and having a little break there. And yeah, and we overcoming obesity and everything. And we've been talking about supermarkets and everything. Ollie, now if your husband came home and gave you a great big box of chocolates, would you eat them? Would you sit there eat them all night, all evening, or just spread it out? What do you think?
No. So with my story, it took me um getting having my face go numb, having my taste buds taken away, inability to taste food because my tongue was numb as well. When I got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and I took that journey super serious. And I know I'm like the 1%. I'm not the majority. But when I found out I had celiac gene, I had celiac disease, I had all this other stuff going on. I'm super strict. I'm strict. I do eat chocolate, but I'm picky. I'm picky, and I stick to a square a day. So there's a conscious bar. It uses dates, organic cacao. Like there's 3 or 4 ingredients. That's it. It's organic. I did so much research on food and my heavy metal testing. Cadmium was super high. Where do you get cadmium? Well, then the news came out that there's a bunch of cadmium in, which is a heavy metal, in the chocolate. So I love chocolate. So I'm like, okay, well, there's where the cadmium came from. And so I eat one square. And if I'm unable to stick to that one square, I won't eat it at all. So I'm very strict with what I eat and the quality of food I eat. So when you're asking me, I'm not your typical, most people don't do what I do. But if you give me a bag of chocolate, I don't view that anymore like that's food for me. In fact, I view it quite the opposite, because a lot of the candy distributors out there, they don't care about your health. There's a bunch of heavy metals. It's not a healthy option. There's no nutritional value. Even though chocolate does have nutritional value, you have to get a quality chocolate. So it would be trash. If you gave me a box of chocolates, I would throw it in the trash or give it away. I'd give it to my neighbor. Hey, do you want some chocolate? I don't eat this. Like that is what I would do.
Right, okay. So if people's listening now and they're saying, right, Holly, can you help me about sorting the diet out? My weight is out of control. Where do you start from? Where do you actually start from?
I give them options. So if you have an autoimmune disease, I strictly like the plant paradox, just because I have the book right here. Actually, I have a bunch of books. It's right here. Plant Paradox by Dr. Stephen Gundry. This is what I recommend, because with autoimmune, our bodies tend to react to other foods. Despite, if we're going to wait for the studies, there are studies that now link lectin sensitivity to people with autoimmune diseases. So they're studies. But if you're going to wait for a study, or you want somebody to tell you that this is happening to people with autoimmunity, you're going to miss out. That's all I got to say. And there's always a counter study. Like dairy, oh my gosh. Go look at dairy. That is so confusing if you want to go look at studies. half the studies say it's good, half the studies say it's bad. And then you get down deep into them. So autoimmunity, by far, I recommend this because it lowers inflammation. It's going to lower the inflammation. If your body is reacting to lectins, it removes them for a time being, and you just cook them. So it's not like you avoid foods with lectins. At the end of this diet, you bring them back in, but you just cook them so that you're cooking out, or you're soaking the beans like we used to do. You're fixing the food properly. But if it's just a lay person that is having issues with weight, what diet do you want to do? Right? What way can we get more whole foods in your diet and more exercise in your life, more sun in your life, being outside? And that is hard. It is hard when you're overweight to want to be seen, because people are cruel. They're cruel. They're cruel even. I mean, I'm saying we, when I was 330 pounds, you feel like you're targeted, like it's at you. But when you then go online and you see all the people that are too thin that are being criticized, it doesn't matter. It's not about your weight, even though that's what they're claiming it is. It's just a hurt person trying to hurt somebody else.
Yeah.
You have to see it for what it is and know that, because there's a layer of shame when you're that heavy and you can't do anything about it. You feel like, what do I do about this? I'm stuck. I felt stuck. And I felt like I was really trying. I walked every day. I thought I was eating healthy based on whatever health advice I was following. And the truth is that we need to eat more whole foods. Whole foods is a piece of fruit that has skin like an apple. So you're eating the whole fruit, right? You might pair that with a nut butter or a handful of nuts. We're also overeating. You go to a restaurant, they're giving you a portion size for 10 people. Like, it could feed your whole family. It's not realistic. And then it's, are they following the American standard diet, or whatever? I mean, that's ridiculous too. But are they, whatever country you live in, that their guidelines? Like, why aren't these restaurants being held accountable when they're giving you 10 times the portion of grain you're supposed to eat in a week in one meal? Why aren't they following those guidelines? And yet they say it's our choice because we ate their food. We chose it. But there's no restaurant. I have not found one restaurant that actually follows any of those health guidelines. So how do we expect to go eat healthfully when nobody's following it? And then we're expected to be social, go outside, go eat together and socialize. And we're being served improper portions, and we think it's normal. And so there's lots of different ways we can do this. Ketogenic diets work fantastic. The problem is they put a big, huge tax on your liver and your kidneys, because fat holds toxins. And so as you're breaking down all of this fat quite rapidly, it can damage your kidneys and your liver. So it's something that works, but realistically, what helps better is going in ketogenic diet and then out of ketogenic diet. But we're using whole foods. Bright line eating works really well. It's very structured. You have your 3 meals a day, and they're measured. So measuring your food, because as you lose weight, your portions are going to change. And so it's just like if you were a high performance athlete, they can eat 10,000 calories in a day, but they are working out almost all day, right? They have this huge physical demand each day that they need the fuel from all those calories to get in so that they can be an Olympian, right? So we see how this works with them and how we can give them this surplus of food and nutrients to fuel their body because of the amount of work they're doing in a day. But the opposite is true for somebody that is overweight. We have to then gear that to what you're doing in a day. How much fuel are you using in a day? And as you lose weight, you need to become more active. Exercise is crucial. It puts a stress on the body, though. So if you have health conditions, you have to do what you can slowly so you don't overtax your body and your heart and your organs that are probably already overtaxed, so that you don't stress the system, because exercise is a stress.
Yeah.
So, but we want to work up to exercising, and we want that to gradually increase, at least the intensity of it. And we want whole foods. We want to eat at home as much as possible. Avoid the restaurants. If you're in a place where you can't control what you're eating, you're too drawn to it, don't don't play that game. It doesn't work, and then you feel bad about yourself because you feel like, oh, I failed, when the whole system is geared for you to fail. The way to avoid that is don't go. I don't eat out. I do not go to restaurants. I don't go to fast food. I eat at home. And there's always a restaurant. I mean, not a restaurant, a grocery store by all these restaurants. There's always a grocery store in a city. So it takes a little bit more time to go take your cart to that grocery store. Go what I do, because I have to avoid wheat and breads. There is no safe bread for me. Even the gluten-free ones, they're not. I can't eat them. So I will go get lettuce. I'll go get some romaine lettuce. Go get some organic turkey. I will wrap it up, get some mustard, maybe get some olives. I will pair it and wrap it up, get an apple, and there's my lunch. If I need to eat out, I go to not a restaurant, a grocery store. I go to a grocery store. It has all the food I need, and I can go eat in my car, and I'll have food left over. So it's that is a choice. It's a choice. And I think we've been fed that moderation, or you can have a little bit. But if you're already addicted to the food and you're not being able to monitor or control it, you cannot have a little bit, because it's like giving a drug addict a little bit of drug. Do you think that they're going to, oh, I'll do a little bit of cocaine today?
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't give a drug addict a little bit, because they're going to then go back for more. We know that. So the same thing is true of food. If you're a 10, I'm a 10. I'm a 10. So I know I just need to stay away from it.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, and hang on for a second. I'm reading some comments here on my radio. I I wake up in the morning with some muesli, some fruit on top. That's me for the day. I do not have any dinner. Uh, this is. Thank you, Tracy, for that. Um, Ollie, I I hear that people who's on weight loss or doing weight loss, they usually have like a breakfast in the morning, but then dinner time it comes, then they usually have something. Now, Tracy's saying that she doesn't have nothing at dinner. Now, does that happen? Does something happen with a system, immune system, or
With skipping dinner, is
yeah,
that what you're?
yeah, yeah,
So intermittent fasting is what that falls under, and it's actually very it's one of the easier fasting methods to use. And so I would always recommend skipping the evening meal versus the morning meal, because when cortisol wakes us up in the morning, and so that's the hormone that wakes you up. That's a steroid. We know steroids can make you puffy. And so when you eat breakfast in the morning, when you eat a nice stable breakfast in the morning, that's balanced, So you might have a piece of fruit, you might have some eggs, you might have a little bit of yogurt with that, right? Like some Greek yogurt. Um, that is you're getting a balanced meal. You add maybe a little handful of spinach or something, so you have this balanced breakfast. This nice. It's going to keep you satisfied and full. It's got your fiber. It's got protein. You have glucose from the apple. And so that is going to satiate you until lunch. And if it doesn't, you eat some vegetables. I always say eat some vegetables. So then if you need to have a snack, have some like a cucumber, have a cucumber and dip it and, like make a better low cal type
Yeah, yeah.
dip. Have some celery and something. And then, but dinner is probably better than breakfast. But then there's the idea, don't eat if you're not hungry. But that becomes a trap. Like your microbiome, your body needs fuel. Your microbiome needs fiber and fruits and vegetables, the fiber from the fruits and vegetables. So it's more about having that structure is actually not bad. It's not a bad idea. I am horrible at skipping the dinner part. That's typically my like main meal that I make for the family. And so mine, it's so hard for me to do it the other way, but it's better to do it the way that that individual is doing it, to
So
skip
what is
dinner.
your
Or eat
Fiona?
it before the sun goes down. Our bodies are geared to the sun. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fiona on here saying about what if you're on the diet, what kind of meal do you make, Holly, for your family in the evenings?
so I have lots of different recipes and they've just sort of gone along with me. I've tested my children as well. So genetically, my one daughter, she has the celiac gene. My husband, we removed it, and then if he eats it, he gets extreme. I'm outing him right now, but he gets extreme diarrhea. So he can't. He's what you would call gluten sensitive. It doesn't even affect me that way. I get constipated actually if I eat gluten, so it's like the exact opposite of him.
so so what that means is that you don't like him loving no more. So
Yeah,
you bother give him diarrhea.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
If I don't want him to touch me, I just be like, here, have a piece of toast. He'll be in the bathroom all night.
I bet you got like a Mars bar underneath your pillow.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, but
So dinner is usually like we eat a lot of pasture raised chicken. So it'll be chicken. We'll make a vegetable. So there'll always be a vegetable. So that's either we do Brussels sprouts. We do like artichokes. Artichokes have great. Your microbiome love the fiber from artichokes. Um, well, my daughter actually found a recipe that's really good. You sort of steam it, then you slice it and you bake it with olive oil and some like garlic and salt and pepper. It's super good. And then we dip it in a ghee based butter with more herbs in there. Super good. So you'll have this big chunk of fiber from the vegetables, chicken. So for me, my portion size is about 6 ounces of chicken. So, and then that's prepared many different ways. Either I broil it, I bake it, we barbecue it. Like we come up with lots of different ways to make the chicken. And then we will have some fruit. So some cherries are in season right now. So we've been eating some cherries afterwards. So our dessert is really that. But my dessert always is my one square of chocolate after all of that. So that's sort of a meal. Is there will be there might be cauliflower rice. My daughters will eat more of the rice. My husband just eats cauliflower rice. I mix a little bit of basmati rice with the cauliflower rice. So we'll do like stir fry. So lots of vegetables like celery, carrots, onion. We love onions. Onions, good sulfur compound, good source of fiber for the gut microbiome. Um, and then we'll have, I don't eat a lot of beef, but we do have beef. We'll do filet mignons because we don't eat beef, that so we eat the nice stuff when we eat it. But it's like a little 4-6 ounce little steak. And I might make some sweet potato fries. They're baked. They're cooked in either avocado oil or ghee with salt. So we slice them up, or first we pressure cook them because I do react to lectins. So I have to be cautious. My body, my genetics, I'm hypersensitive to plant proteins. The plant proteins, which is what the lectin is. And so I just have to be cautious. So I just take the extra precautions. I don't always react to them, but when I do, I do. So I pressure cook the sweet potato first. Then if you want to make it a resistant starch, if you want to do all this work, you can. You put it in the refrigerator, you let it cool down for a couple hours, then you slice it up, you make your potatoes. So that would probably be the best way. I don't always do that because it might be on the whim that we're going to have sweet potato fries, and so it's not planned. But that's typically dinner for us. Is my husband, he gets about 8 ounces of meat, so there's a difference, and you have to realize there needs to be a difference. So my youngest daughter isn't going to eat the portion size that I'm going to eat, and I shouldn't eat what my husband needs because my husband's 6 foot, I'm 5'6", right? So he's built completely differently than me and needs more calories, more protein. I don't need that much. So portioning what each individual should have is important. It shouldn't be like this big pile of food on a plate for everybody because we're all different in size, different in height, different in needs. A female and a male are going to be different as well.
Gosh, yeah. Wow. I think Tim says here, I'm Steve. I think Ollie's husband don't like coming home in the evenings because his food is poisoned, and that's why he's got diarrhea.
Maybe.
Maybe put that down. Put it down. Wife trying to kill husband.
Yeah, there you go. Somebody can be a Sherlock Holmes and come solve the mystery.
Yeah, but um, what I'm trying to say is, so that happens in your house. So now, so we've got quite a few people listening. So just quickly tell people how they can contact you and where they can contact you, and they'll probably come over to you. I know some of my supporters have been coming over to you and listening to your your kind of like podcast and everything, and that's really good and brilliant.
Well, I appreciate all the people that want to follow me. Thank you. That's very, very nice. I have my website, The Healing Hall. It's THE, then HEALING, and then Hall, HAUL, at gmail.com. And all of my social media are at the top of that page. So you click on it. Facebook is my biggest following. That's where I do a lot of my reels, and my TikTok. I don't really like TikTok that much, but
Okay.
I I do my TikToks there, but I might be shifting that because they irritate me.
Yeah. Do
They're
you know what?
irritating me.
Someone said to me, "Why don't you join TikTok?" Right? And
I'm
I
on
just,
TikTok. I am.
yeah. Someone said to me, "Join TikTok," and I said, "How do you do it?" This is the first time. So do you have to wait for a specific time to come? Then you can join it. He said, "Yeah. What you do, you go on around about 5 to 8. You look at your watch, and when it's 8 o'clock, you can start it. But you've got to make sure that you've got a ticking clock, right?" And I was there, like, I haven't got a watch. I don't wear a watch. I was looking at the clock, going, 5 to. Yeah. Um, all I could hear is the clock. Ding, ding, ding. Then it went ding. Then all of a sudden, so my friend of mine said, "You're now on TikTok." I thought, what? And I'm yet to get him back, but yeah, I will soon. Yeah, Ollie, thanks very much for coming back on. It's always a joy because you make everybody smile on. Yeah, we'll, we will. Oh yeah, definitely, we will do. We'll get back on it, Ollie, on sometime. Yeah, yeah. Hi Steve. Love the video. You take it. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Hi Steve. And no more podcasts tonight. Three more. We got Susan Lee next, and yeah. Okay. Um, what are you doing for the summer holidays? Oh, mate, I do not like this. I do not like the sun. Staying in. I don't know what Ollie does, but she probably goes out and sunbathes in the garden,
I
you
love
know,
the sun.
and she's probably like reading up on spells how to poison her husband or
Yeah.
something. Um,
Holly with the deadly toast.
yeah, yeah, or
We should make a
celery,
sitcom.
or celery. Yeah, thank you everybody for following, and
Thank
see
you,
you next
Steve.
time. Thanks, Charlie. Thank you. Bye bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.